Welcome back to Last Week in Esports, your number one source for all esports information. This week we have more information about layoffs that are affecting the esports industry. We also have updates on all the major regions and major esports. So without further ado, let's dive right into it.
Baker, what was that?
Cloud9 are your E-League Major champions!
This is Rocket League!
Now, we've talked a good bit about the esports winter. People have been predicting that this stuff is coming. The North American economy is really not in the greatest spot with a lot of the inflation and unemployment rates. And now we have layoffs at Activision Blizzard, totaling up to around 1,900 people, which is an unbelievable amount. And a large majority of those 1,900 people are coming from the esports side of Activision Blizzard. So a lot of crazy stuff going on there. Supposedly, with the CoD Boston Major that just happened, Microsoft decided to wait until after that major to then make their massive layoffs for the Call of Duty team, which now has, I think, 12 people left on the esports side of Call of Duty. I don't even think I need to explain to you how 12 people can't run that league, but unbelievable. And we talked recently about Overwatch 2 really starting to come into their own now with this new ecosystem and environment for their pro scene. And now they are hit with a round of layoffs, getting rid of most of their observers, if not all. Other really notable layoffs from notable community members in the scene and in Activision/Blizzard. So far, this Microsoft acquisition is not looking good for the esports side of the house. Unless you're living under a rock, you've probably seen that IEM Katowice has started for CS2, and holy shit, this event is going crazy. Tons of just immaculate gameplay and games from the best teams in the world. And the play-in stage has finished, which means now, by the time you're probably watching this video, the group stage has started. That group stage will continue this week, and then it will go to the playoffs, all culminating in the grand finals on February 11th. So make sure you're tuning in for that. This is unbelievable. G2's looking good, ENCE's looking good, Navi's looking good. It's really just a fantastic event, and I love watching Katowice events because it's just an iconic venue, an iconic just point in Counter-Strike history. So definitely make sure you're tuning in. You gotta start learning those lineups, so you might as well start watching pros do it at least. League of Legends scene is in full swing now, obviously. All the major regions are competing, and the LCS is looking to be, really competitive for the first time in a long time. I've talked before how C9 has made possibly one of the best rosters that we've ever seen in North America, and they're 3-3 right now. Now, the parity across the region is fantastic for the viability of League of Legends in North America. These teams are finally competitive. Even the bottom teams, don't look awful every game. But C9's 3-3, which is unbelievable. We have FlyQuest sitting solely in first place, stomping people, sitting at 6-1. Jumping over to the LEC, we have the LEC playoffs beginning, and tons of fun there. I'm obviously a little bit biased towards North America. I'm from North America. I pull for North America. But LEC looks different. It seems like they've been on a downward trend the last 2 years. Especially even at Worlds last year, they didn't look great. The level of gameplay is sloppy. G2 do look a little decent. If you're going to take one thing from anyone in the LEC, G2 is probably the one you want to learn from and follow. They're doing pretty well. But the playoffs are going to continue this week. Make sure you tune in. We got tons of implications coming from those playoffs, so make sure you watch those. RLCS is back in North America, looked fantastic as always. Truly going to be competitive this year. There was a ton of roster moves in the offseason, so we see a lot of new faces, but we see a lot of old recurring ones. Just like this new G2 roster with Atomic Beast Mode and Daniel, who stomped probably the tournament favorite Gen G 4-0 in the grand finals to sweep it. G2 Stride look unbelievable. If we're talking about the difference in teams, Gen G and G2 are leagues above the rest of North America, and G2 just stomped them. So we'll see how it's going. Super happy for G2. Big fan of theirs. Love seeing the success there. But we also have a veteran returning to the spotlight a little bit, Justin. He was playing for Shopify Rebellion, and a team I think maybe not the most notable in the Rocket League scene. Got a top 4 finish in the first qual. That's insane. Shout out to Justin. He had some great shots. He didn't play so great on Championship Sunday, but the rest of the event, he looked fantastic. We do have the EU Open Qual coming this weekend. We'll have the Swiss start on Friday, and then obviously the playoff bracket begin on Saturday and finish up Sunday. Make sure you watch it there. Great teams like Carmine Core and Vitality, I'm sure, are going to be fighting it out on Championship Sunday. So make sure you tune in. The moment you've all been waiting for, VCT is going to be returning starting February 16th. Valorant Champions had their big announcement, all the new stuff that's coming in and out, all this new format, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to try to give you a brief rundown the best I can. I think the really important thing is now your performance really matters in the events because they are going to give you a point or multiple points depending on your placement, and those are going to go towards kind of that seeding and qualification for the Worlds. I think it's a great idea, puts a lot of emphasis on performing internationally. I think they said something like around 3 points for finishing first place internationally, whereas one regionally. So really, really making sure you're coming out firing all cylinders, getting that first place finish on the international stage. Also, just a ton of teams. I'll throw up a graphic here. We've got a lot of new teams. We've got returning teams. Rosters are going to be insane. VCT is going to be insane. Riot has doubled down really on Valorant as one of their premier esports. So I think we're going to see a lot of improvements this year, just an overall like experience for the viewers. So that's exciting. Hope you're all looking forward to it. I sure am. Let's see if NA can pull out another one. Short and sweet this week. We gave you a bunch of updates, and there's still a ton going on. So make sure you stay up to date this week. EU Rocket League is going to be happening. IEM kind of VJ continues. Apex continues. All the above. So make sure you keep your eyes out, keep up to date, and enjoy the esports season. Thank you all for watching. GG's.